Hello, Leo friends. I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Leo December 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. Well, the shift you've been feeling is explained in this report. It is all falling into place. I'm going to go into the many details of why this month can be one of Leo's best months in this whole year as we wrap up 2025. This is for you. If Leo is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Leo placement you're listening for, what I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Leo friends, so birthdays like August 15th through the rest of the sign, or 23 degree Leo placements through the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Virgo report, as your very late degree friends will benefit from both readings. Two quick admin notes here before we dive into explaining those shifts you've been feeling and seeing how everything's falling into place. One is that if you don't know me already, my name is Annie Botticelli. Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm an astrologer. I'm all about astrology. I've written books on astrology. I have a podcast. I have my YouTube channel. I have an astrology school. I've been writing blogs on astrology for well over a decade, and I've been an astrologer for over 20 years and teaching for almost that same amount of time. So if you want to learn astrology, if you want to understand what the astrological weather is going to be, you're in the right place. I'm going to give you some important dates, so you may want to have something handy to write down. If you want even more dates, go to anniehelpsyou.com and grab your free monthly written star report for December with the sweet and salty dates talking about the best aspects and the worst aspects of the month. If you want to take your astrology learning to the next level, either to help yourself, your family, and friends, or to do astrology professionally, you will love my epic Black Friday promo that is available from November 20th when I launch these publicly through the rest of November. When you register for my Astrology Mastery Certification course, you get almost every promo that I've ever offered all in one in this very short, concentrated amount of time. And that includes well over $2,000 worth of free promos. So go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. And of course, if you like what you hear, like, share, and subscribe. All right, so let's get into why things are falling into place for Leo and why I'm so excited as a fellow fire sign this month. So Mercury starts out the month in Scorpio, but it is going to go back into Sag. It was there before with the retrograde. We've got Venus in Sagittarius, the Sun there, Lilith, Mars, Juno, and the new moon at 28 degrees on December 19th, all in fellow fire sign Sagittarius, all lighting up Leo's fifth house of Leo. So that's exciting. And at the same time as all of that Sag energy is lighting up, it's making trines to all of these Aries placements, which are creating grand trines, the most amazing configuration possible. With all of this fire energy. So all of the Sag placements are going to come and make beautiful aspects to Ceres, Chiron, and Eris. And then your Leo locks these configurations that are in the sky into a grand trine for you. So Venus and Sag in your fifth house is creating this fire in your creativity sector. Your romantic sector is supercharged. So the kinds of things that are falling in place and the kinds of shifts that you've been feeling, I can explain that now with all of this. So this creative fire and this romantic playfulness are flowing freely. Sagittarius is all about free flow. There's this amplification of joy and love and artistic confidence. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and so every time we have this massive showing of Sagittarius, we not only have optimism and ebullience and, zippy enthusiasm and creative solutions, but we also have this amplification. And the fifth house relates to joy. It relates to children and your creative spirit and your talents. When the sun is there, we've got the combination in Sagittarius in your fire Leo house of the fifth house. This brings this radiant wave of self-expression, and your leadership ignites and your talents are spotlighted, and it inspires bold creations. Then we've got Lilith along with this whole story, and this is a fierce authenticity, wild creative power, raw, unfiltered, breakthroughs, unapologetic passion taking the stage. Then we've got Mars there bringing oomph and impetus. So your motivation is going to surge to take these daring risks in love, in art, in performance, in things on your bucket list. And courage is amplified and it fuels creation. Mercury, as it gets into Sag, is going to bring this information, this news, these conversations that fuel all of the things we're talking about. And in the days around December 19th, that 28 degree Sagittarius new moon brings new births, new possibilities, and seed planting in all of these arenas. Now, while all of this is happening, it's beaming energy to this 9th house of Sagittarius with these Aries placements. And that's bringing in, actually doing double duty with the energy of Sag, which represents teaching and learning and expanding your horizons. It has to do with broadening your perspectives and bringing things up to the next level, major up leveling. So these are the kinds of things that may be falling into place. If you're wanting to learn something, the perfect course may come along. If you're trying to get into a school or a program, that may come through for you. If you need to do testing, this is an amazing time. If you're looking for immigration or student visas, this is perfect energy for this as well. If you're wanting to publish a book or speak or bring your own teaching out, this is an amazing time. So now let's drill down into some specific dates here, because December 17th is a very big time. November was a retrograde month with Mercury in retrograde from the 12th to the 29th. The shadow period started October 21st, and the post-shadow period after Mercury went direct on November 29th goes until December 17th. So while in December we are not officially in a Mercury retrograde, that shadow period is still very heavy at the beginning of the month. But with every day we get into December, you'll feel it passing. And once we get to December 17th, it will pass altogether, which means that we are then in our last grand open period free from personal planet retrogrades for 2025 and our first period for 2026. So from December 17th through February 12th, that is when the tides are going out. Okay, so if you have followed my tidal analogies, November was a month, and still kind of early December as it's moving along, is this time as best as possible to see what the tides are bringing into you rather than conjuring or trying to force things or push things out. Because what happens when you push something out on an incoming tide, it comes right back to you. And there are amazing things you can do with that energy. It's not inherently bad. It's just not great for trying to put things out afloat, out far and wide. But now as the month progresses, those launches, those big decisions, the big moves, the big appointments, the big conversations, the big sales and purchases, the big events, the engagements, the weddings, all of that energy starts to get more forward moving. And that is going to be going from December 17th to February 12th. You know, the closer you are to the 17th, the more you're going to feel the energy shifting and open. You know, at least for all of December, we don't have an official personal planet retrograde. So that makes it good for events all this month and important things all this month. But you will feel that sort of uncertainty. Plans that have been made in the early part may feel a little dicey. They may still work out, but they feel like a little bit, you know, where there's uncertainty. But as the month progresses, you'll be able to plan more for this time and plan more for the future. And then it's going to be a time to set your boats afloat. So those things that you want to go far and wide in the world, you can start putting those out to sea symbolically. And the tides can take them far and wide. Okay, so that's a very important thing to note, because all of this Sag energy coming into contact with the Aries, making the trine for your Leo placements, they're going to give you big ideas. And you can express these ideas all month. But if you want to ground something in to business, to fruition, to the material realm, ideas into form, options into discernment, that's what the month will progress into, because as all these Sag placements move along, they will start to join Vesta and Estrella in Capricorn and build a Capricorn party that will go in well into January. So as the month progresses, we are experiencing this, ideas into form, discerning about all the options. Sagittarius energy rules all of these options, and the Capricorn energy makes you pick between those options to see what you're going to put your power behind. And you have a massive amount of power at this time. It's very inspiring. You may be traveling far and wide. You may be making plans for travel far and wide for the future. And that all of that, is spurred. Whatever makes your heart sing. I always say that the Leo energy, and specifically when we're talking about this fifth house, when you've got transits moving through this place, the things that want to happen are the things that make you feel like you're a sunflower rising up to the sun and that every cell in your body is lifting, lifting, lifting with joy. So this is the type of energy we have this month, which is very exciting. So we do have a couple of other things to know about this month. We are also free from eclipse season for a little while longer until mid-January, when we start to have the eclipse news starting to come in again, because the season will start. February and March, we have not only the Pisces Virgo eclipses returning that we've been working with since the end of 2024. Every 6 months, they've been coming out of the shadows. But we also have a new polarity. And that polarity is especially relevant to Leos because it's Aquarius and Leo. So we will actually have the Aquarius Leo eclipses start up February and March, and mid-January, you'll start to feel that. So your life is about to change in a big way as you move through or move into a new set of eclipses featuring your sign, really focusing on your sign. And there will be a lot of dramatic changes and major manifestations upcoming. But for this month, it's still chill before we get there. So it's good to know that because, not that you can really rest up this month that much because it's going to be highly, highly, highly social, but just sort of get your being smoothed down to be prepared for the changes that are coming. And that is one of the things that I was talking about with those shifts that you're feeling. There's this building process and there's some things about to happen. And there are things that are falling in place this month. Okay. And that's going to be cogs in the wheel of forward movement that are going to be accentuated by the eclipses to come. Okay, let's talk about some more days here. All right, so we talked about the days around December 19th. That's the new moon. That's great for seed planting on any of the topics that we've been discussing. All Leos can get goodies from that, but you in the late degree spectrum, so 23 degrees to the rest of the signs, so that's basically going to be as far out as like August 17th and onward, or 23 degree placements and onward. And the closer you are to right near the end of the Leo sign, the more you may get a noticeable kiss from that new moon. But don't worry if you're not in that spectrum. Obviously, there's all of this energy fully available for all the Leos, but just wanted to mention that in case you are in that zone. Now, another important date. December 4th, really the whole first week of the month, we're building up to this full moon, then starting to wane down. Full moon at 13 degrees of Gemini. Fullness, completion, fruition, trauma, or drama, hopefully not trauma. It is in a good position for you as a Leo at least. So drama coming to your friendships, your social circles, your groups. Something may be getting accomplished. You may be having an important group event. You may be having something important with one of your family members. Like I said, it's a very social energy, a lot of networking. There could be a networking event that could be super critical for what you're trying to push forward. This fifth house can definitely relate to doing your passion for income and earning income from your passions. And especially with this energy moving into Capricorn, it's a very business oriented energy. It's a very getting things done type of energy, different from this firestorm, the supernova of fire celebrations. It's more practical. And one of the things that may help to solidify and define where you're going to be putting your focus is stuff that happens at some networking or some social interaction that occurs in the first week of the month. So all Leos can have nice angle manifestations from this, but those of you who are in the 8 degrees through 18 degrees, closer to 13 degrees, the more you'll get the kiss from that. And that has to do with the dates of like the end of July, early August, until around the 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere in there. And then around August 7th or so, the closer to that date, the more it is exact. But again, if you're not in that zone, it's still fully available to you, but you may notice something extra special if you are in that zone. We do have double the amount of salty aspects this month, but I'm not focusing on that because of this very, very, very strong showing of Sagittarius and these trines, especially for Leo. All of those jolts that may come like nuisance aspects are all short-lived, except one. And this one has been ongoing for several months. It just will come direct or come exact again. And that's Chiron and Eris conjunct squaring Jupiter. All right, so this is having to do with something with home and family, something with your independence, the clash between those things. It can also have to do with something that you're trying to expand, but it's stymied and you're in a box, you're in a matrix. So there could be intuitive insight because for you, you've got Jupiter expanding your house of intuition. There could be some intuitive insight where you're feeling something that hasn't yet manifested and you may have to take action on that gut feeling. And it could also have to do with worthiness, something where you were told that you weren't enough, that you couldn't do it, that there was no chance for success with what you were trying, and you're starting to navigate through learning what you have to heal in order to move forward. So this is a very long-term transit. It's been happening for months. It will continue going on, but it will be exact in the days around the 21st, which means that there could be some family healing that goes on because Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer. And again, this has to do with kind of finding your independence from the viewpoints of your family. And there may be ways that you have to sort of assert that you are your own person and try to find ways that this can work, regardless of the fact of their opinions or even criticisms. So that will be happening, but it's happening in the midst of all of this fire and all of this enthusiasm and all of this optimism. If you want to know all the salty dates and all the sweet dates, grab that free monthly written star report for December, my sweet and salty dates report at anniehelpsyou.com. If you want to see what's up for 2026 and beyond, personalized reports at Annie B. Clarity, Annie, the letter B, clarity.com. And if you want to learn astrology, if this is your time to earn money from being an astrologer, it is amazing to be able to help someone. I am still blown away at how I can help people by looking at their chart. I don't really do readings anymore, but occasionally I'll peek for a friend, and it just always surprises me that after all of these decades of doing this, that you can just help people so much with it. If you want that magic, you want to help people, you want to earn money doing it, I can help you. Go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com. And in the meantime, get your multiple thousands of dollars worth of free promos in my Epic Black Friday promo. I hope you have a wonderful wrap up to your year. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month and see you next year. Bye for now.